Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time. Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Nikki.
And welcome to Working Mom's Wine, where we sometimes drink wine and sometimes drink tea because we're sick.
Where we whine about our crazy, busy, stressful working mom lives.
That's right. I am out of tea. I drank it all in the last
Did you
one.
go make more?
No, obviously we're double recording today. I'm just going to finish this one up and then I'll make another one. But it's such a sad time.
I'm drinking my normal Bada box, but I have an appropriately themed glass today. Joy to the world, the wine is here. And it's got little hand-painted Christmas lights on it.
This will probably post after the fact, but it is currently a few days before Thanksgiving. And I saw someone post on Facebook, because, people will start posting, hey, annual reminder, it's time to set the turkey out. And this one person on my timeline posted that all those reminders are great, but here's the real reminder. And it's like, don't forget to buy the wine. Today we are going to whine. Yes. Today we're going to whine a little bit about Christmas shopping. We touched on it in a previous podcast, but didn't really get too into it. So, following our new format, we've got a few things to hit on throughout this, and we're going to try and keep it a little shorter for you guys as well, so you don't have to listen to us for 45 straight minutes every time. But one of the things that can be difficult when you are Christmas shopping is finding the right thing for each person. That you talked a little bit about that the last time we talked about this, when you talked about my one child who seems to be very into something, and then 2 weeks later they hate that thing and they never want to look at it again and they've moved on with their life. Or maybe there's an adult and you feel like you don't know that adult very well and their likes, or it's an in-law and your suggestions are just not quite hitting the mark. So sometimes it can be really hard to find the right thing for people.
It can. Some people are harder to shop for than others, and sometimes I think you get a little stuck too in, like, with the kids. I know there are gift cards I could get them that they would love to use throughout their day, but it's not as fun to open a gift card as it is a toy or something. So then you get a little caught up in that kind of stuff sometimes too. Like, ugh,
Yeah,
what's the right choice?
right. You almost need to find a way to make opening the gift card a game in and of itself, and then they have entertainment finding their way to the gift card or something.
Right.
Like those dog hide a treat things. Let's just do that with gift cards.
There we go. Just coat it in peanut butter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. How many looks does it take to find your gift card? I'm trying not to laugh too hard either because that'll set me off coughing again.
Yeah.
Another thing that can be an issue is budgeting. Obviously, we all try to prepare ourselves for the holidays, but we even, when we moved, we were lucky enough to make a profit on our previous house, and we set aside money for Christmas. And even with that, I'm finding us going over that budget. So definitely trying to not go over budget and find ways to stay within it, and to set it aside in the first place can be difficult.
Yeah. Yep. It's sometimes you're making a choice between setting aside money for Christmas or, making those payments to your Roth IRA you were supposed to make.
Yeah. Or you might be really proud of how far you've paid down a credit card, and then you find yourself in a position where you feel like, well, if you don't want someone to feel left out, you're going to have to put some things on a credit card and work your way back down there again.
Mm-hmm.
Or a car payment throws everything off, or car repair.
It always seems to be that time of year when you've got your money saved and you're getting ready to do something responsible with it, and then bam,
Yep.
Emergency.
Yep. We're taking a car up on Monday. You brought up a really good one earlier today, finding the time to wrap everything.
Yes, oh my God. And I started so early. Like the second thing started coming in at the beginning of this month, as it would come in, I wrapped it. I have so
Mhm.
many things wrapped already. But then today I got another, Amazon's had their Prime days again.
Yeah.
And I grabbed a bunch
Black
of
Friday
Christmas gifts
week.
and they showed up today. And I'm like, why do I have like 50 more gifts to wrap when I've already done so much wrapping? Like
Yep. When does it end?
December 24th.
Uh-huh. Another thing that can be difficult, as you mentioned in our last podcast, is getting out without the kids. It's kind of hard to buy for them
Oh,
when they're with you.
yes. And, you take them out shopping because you want to know what they want and what they're interested
Mhm.
in. But then you're fighting the battle of they want it right now, not in 2 months at Christmas time or whatever. And you're
Yeah.
debating like, do they need this now? Can I save it for Christmas? Can I come back later? Will it still be here?
Yeah.
So I'll go shopping with Ari. We do that Christmas shoebox where you fill a shoebox with Christmas gifts for a kid overseas. And when we
Mhm.
were shopping for that, she had all kinds of things she wanted that I would have loved to pick up for her. But she was with me. She's not old enough to go sit in the car by herself while I go back in or anything. So it's like, okay. So I went back today to the same store. And of course, it's mostly new stuff since the last time we went. And I'm like, well, whatever. I just grab other stuff. But, you know, it's a
What are you gonna
balance.
do?
To shop when
Um,
they're with you, to find times to shop when they're not with you, and to, not um, let them see everything as you're carrying it in and out of the house and
right.
hiding it. And
Yeah. And then where do you hide it, that they won't find it?
mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, one year I hid all of the Easter basket stuff in a closet that Ari never goes in, and I thought it would be fine. And it was even like down low, like I didn't even put it up high or anything.
Mhm.
And I was watching TV one day and I heard, Mom, look what I found. And I ran upstairs. She found all of it.
Oh
And I was like, Ari.
no. Oh no.
I made some story, the Easter Bunny sent it to me early to hide for you so we would have it. And now you found it before you were supposed to.
Oh man.
It was pretty funny though.
Wow. This is the part where we're gonna offer some advice. Hopefully it helps some of you out there. Um, in terms of budgeting, obviously there are always things you can't help, but making a fund is at least gonna help out a little bit. What I try to do is take a look at how much I either like people will sometimes spend a specific amount on people, or I'll take a look at how much Christmas cost us overall the year prior and try to divide it by 12, and see if I can
Mm-hmm.
fit that into the budget, or if you're lucky enough to get a tax rebate, or we have MoDOT is buying some of our land to expand the highway, so we've got a little windfall coming from that. That's a perfect time to take that money, and instead of being like, oh, cool, I'm going to eat out the whole month, you can be like, all right, what fund can I put this in? Christmas. Cool.
Yep. I do the same thing. I take the amount I want to spend on each person times how many people I'm buying for. I split it by 12, and then I mark which paycheck from each month I'm going to save that back from.
Hmm.
And then I put it in my high yield savings account where I've created a vault within the
Ah,
account, and the money goes into the vault. That's what I'm doing for my vacation and for my savings for things like Christmas and birthdays. And I have a savings fund for new car tires and a new laptop and things like that. But I put it all in the high yield savings account so it can earn interest while it sits in there.
yeah. So I saw that they had vaults, but I hadn't really looked into it. So is that basically like almost like a digital envelope system where you can be like, this vault is for this and this vault is for that?
Yeah. So I
Oh, I'm
have,
gonna
it
do
gives me
that.
my total amount and it says this much is Ari's savings, this much is your Disney fund, this much is your emergency fund.
That's
And
so
it
much
breaks it
better
all
than what I'm
down.
doing right
But it's,
now.
yeah, it still earns interest based off the amount as a whole and not the breakdown, you know.
Okay. Well, if any of you guys need SoFi links, we can relink our SoFis because that's amazing. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
So
And it's easy to
where
get a hold of too. I can pay my credit card directly from my savings account. So you don't have to like move money around a bunch and stuff. Like,
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't mute my cough in time. Where do you hide your gifts?
so right now I have a system where in November I start saving all of the delivery boxes I get, and I will
Mm,
put stuff in the boxes in the top of my closet in my bedroom.
okay.
There are times that I've hidden them in boxes in the basement and like the unfinished side, but I haven't been a fan of that in the last couple of years because we have a dangerous type of spider that lives in our basement. So I don't want to open a cardboard box one day and get the surprise of a lifetime. So
Right. Yeah,
I've been doing
Midwest
it
brown
up
recluses.
here, right? Oh,
Um, I this year in the previous house we had a lot of good basement shelving space that I could utilize. But this year we don't have that. But what we do have is a preteen who does not use much of his closet space yet. So since I've been wrapping things, I'm putting them up on the shelves because they're already wrapped and no one can like tell what it
yeah,
is.
peek
But
in.
he's the
Yeah.
only one. Yeah, he's the only one who knows what's down there. But I had taken Brandon's gift unwrapped down there to hide it behind the door. And then when I started wrapping things, I was like, you know what, we're going to do this for now. And if he ever utilizes the closet more, I'm going to have to come up with something else. Maybe I'll actually have my closet cleaned out at that point, but we'll see. Um,
Yeah, as I wrap the presents, I put them under the tree, but
yeah,
I, I
I
do
just don't
need to
have my tree
start
up yet.
pulling out the ones for family and putting them into just a tote bag instead.
Yeah. For people that are difficult to buy for, or people that
Hmm.
you just feel like in general you might need an idea for them, I really like the idea, and we've kind of touched on this before, of keeping a year-long like Amazon list, or there was like that gifting place you found where you can make online lists, and they can be updated throughout the year. Like maybe someone sees something cool in February that they want, and they put it on the list, and then a birthday or Christmas comes around, that thing is there, and you can get it for them if it's still available. So that way, it's like you don't have
Yeah.
to be grilling people 2 months before Christmas. They can be adding things as they think of it.
Yeah. That's a good point. A lot of these websites are free. You can use them for like secret Santas and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
you can do it with your family too, and you make your own wish lists. And a lot of them are like connected to Amazon and Walmart and things like that, so it can all be shipped and that sort of
Yeah,
thing. So
yeah.
it's nice.
Um, do you have like a go-to strategy that you use for people that you don't know what to get them?
Um, Not really. I usually just wind up asking other people that know them, like,
Yeah,
have you noticed anything that they say they wish they had or that they're missing? Or I
yeah.
might look at how I know them. Like if there's someone from work, maybe,
Mhm.
we drink a lot of coffee at work, so I'll get coffee
Oh
related
yeah,
gifts or,
yeah,
um, something like that. But I know with dad a lot, I used to do things like, okay, where was he working at the time? And what are some like kind of luxury convenience things that might make work life better? Like when he
yeah,
was spending a lot of time in the car, I think I looked at getting him like a mug warmer for your car holder, cup holder.
yeah,
Um, or we bought, I think one time mom told me he was wanting to listen to audiobooks, but his truck didn't have the right Bluetooth stuff. So we found whatever system it was that would plug in, to his phone and things like that.
yeah,
So sometimes when I'm not sure, I try to lean into the more practical side
yeah.
of day to day life.
Right. That can always be good. Thinking
That's
outside
hard
of
when
the
it's
box.
kids.
Yeah. Thinking outside of the box can be good. I always try, but then at some point I'm like, you know what? We're just going to follow our heart here. We're going to have fun with the gift, and hopefully they appreciate it, whether it's something consumable or like I was at a craft show today, and we have a family member that tends to host a lot of gatherings on the in-law side. So I found something that's good for that. You just do your best and keep in mind that like we're just getting together as a family and having fun, and
Yeah.
you put your heart into it. So,
Yeah.
last
You
piece
just
of
do your
advice.
best.
That's right. Last piece of advice for this one. If you're having issues getting everything wrapped, there are lots of places where you can go and they will wrap your gifts for you, which is especially great for me because I'm not a good wrapper anyway. So you can look at nearby organizations, or I'm lucky enough that usually at work there will be a couple of people that get together and do it, and they'll accept donations for a charity, and you can toss them a few dollars and have them wrap a handful of gifts for you. I miss when they did
That's
that at the
nice.
mall. So for the ending story today, I'm going to throw back to last Christmas. Um, Whenever you open gifts, it can go a little differently. Some people will just have at it, some people will take turns. And last year we were doing this thing where we would go around in a circle and everyone would take their turn. And a few gifts had been opened already. And Jack was, would he have been 3 at that point?
I think
I
so.
think so. Yeah. So Jack was 3. Um, and there's this, you know, the kids have bigger piles of presents, and there's this huge stack of presents and that he's waiting to open. And maybe his present is bigger because it's a toddler toy, but like Lucas has a smaller one because it's a video game kind of a deal. So he's got this big old stack of presents. And we were going around having other people take their turns. And I got this great series of pictures where he's just kind of standing there and he's got his arm on it, and like he was tapping his fingers like, okay, is it my turn? And he would keep asking, is it my turn, is it my turn? And we'd have to be like, no, you have to wait. And then in the next one you just see like, he's given up, he's starting to get depressed because it's not his turn to open it up yet. And then there's another one where he's basically falling asleep on the packages, if I remember correctly. I'll have to pull them up, and maybe I'll add them on here
Yeah.
if I can
It's
think
like he
about
was
it.
standing and then kneeling and then his arm was
Yeah,
on it and then his other arm was on it and then his head was on
yeah.
it.
It's just picture after picture telling the story of poor Jack, who is slowly dying as he waits to open the next present. So if I can find them, I'll tack
This
them on
poor
here.
abused child.
I know, that poor guy. But once again, I wanted to thank you for joining us. You can find us on
Yeah.
workingmomswine.com, patreon.com/workingmomswine, YouTube, Spotify, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok. As always, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.